بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم والصلاة والسلام على أشرف المرسلين سيدنا محمد وعلى آله وأصحابه أجمعين. من يهدي الله فهو المهتد ومن يضلل فلن تجد له وليا مرشدا. ربنا لا تزغ قلوبنا بعد إذ هديتنا وهب لنا من لدنك رحمة إنك أنت الوهاب. رب اشرح لي صدري ويسر لي أمري واحلل عقدة من لساني يفقهوا قولي. Welcome all of you in this new episode of, we're going to actually today we have four names of beautiful names of Allah, and I said four names because actually every two of them are very associated and related to each other. That's why we had inshallah four names today. At the beginning, as we always, I think most of our sisters and daughters now memorize this hadith. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, Allah's messenger, peace be upon him, said that verily Allah has 99 names, 100 but one, whosoever knows each and every one of them, and we said before, believes in them and works according to them, enters the paradise. Today we have the first two names, as we mentioned, that they are associated together, is Alqabid.Albasit. Alqabid.Albasit, which means a withholder and expander. These are two names of Asma'ullah al-Husna. As we are going to have now to know the meaning, as we are doing every time, regarding the meaning of Alqabid. Alqabid is the withholder. What is the meaning of the withholder? Withholder is Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, the one who takes away souls, provision, and whatever he pleases. And the expander or Albasit is the one who gives provision, mercy, and whatever he wishes. He's also the one in Albasit or the expander, he is also the one who stretches out his hands so that the believers may repent and turn to him. So Al-Qabid is to take, the take away, and if you're going to have two precise issues, we are speaking about the souls and the provision, who take away the souls and provisions, and he expands or give the maybe other provisions and mercy and forgiveness to all his slaves. Actually, as we mentioned, these two names are among those names of Allah which always come together, for absolute perfection is realized in their combination, and they cannot be used separately. When you say that Allah is Qabid Basit, means withholder, extender at the same time, you describe him as being powerful and wise. And this is another names of beautiful names of Allah, because Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has all the wisdom and all the power to take away at a certain time and to give or extend or expand another time. So he withholds when it's good and he gives when it's good. So it's all good for us, for mankind. Either Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will withhold, it's for our good, or he will gives or expand or extend, this is also for our good. That's why I'm telling that these two names should be taken together. We cannot separate them because every one of them has its own use. Now we have like the how to know the names of Allah. How to know the names of Allah, Alqabid.Albasit from the Quran and Sunnah. Actually, in Quran, we'll not find the name of Allah, Alqabid.Albasit. It's present in Sunnah. So what we are going to have in the Quran is a verb. Is a verb. What is the verb? Is yaqbid wa yabsit. So here in Surah Al-Baqarah, Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim, مَا ذَا الَّذِي يُقْرِضُ اللَّهَ قَرْضًا حَسَنًا فَيُضَاعِفَهُ لَهُ أَضْعَافًا كَثِيرَةً وَاللَّهُ يَقْبِضُ وَيَبْسُطُ وَإِلَيْهِ تُرْجَعُونَ. So the verb يَقْبِض and the verb يبسط. So when we're going to translate this ayah, who is it that would loan Allah a goodly loan, so he may multiply it for him many times over, and it's Allah who withholds, يقبض, and grants or grants abundance, and to him you will be returned. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in this ayah, he's talking about those who are giving charity, and charity, either it is zakat or sadaqah, and as if they are making loan for Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is saying here about the withholding and the expanding. It's coming, but through the verb. So we will know actually on the coming slides more about this issue regarding the charity, especially the charity and spending, and how much the name of Allah Alqabid.Albasit related to this issue. Also, we have a hadith from Prophet Muhammad ﷺ that he say Allah is the one who fixes prices and who withholds and gives abundantly. So it is another, the names come here in from hadith, from the sunnah. If we come to the benefits, or come to more details in the benefits of the names of Allah, Alqabid.Albasit, the withholder and the extender. The benefits is to call Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala by his names, as we mentioned before, and here when we are making dua for Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala as Albasit, or extend for us his mercy, to extend for us his forgiveness, to extend for us provision, whatever the provision we want from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And when we have a call or the dua by his name, Al-Qabid, is to withhold something that bad for us, or something will not help us, or something maybe we make us go وَالْعِيَاذُ بِاللَّهِ to the wrong path. So this is again why I may use the name of Allah Al-Qabid. This is number one, to call him by his names, as we mentioned every name of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, since we started this episodes, that every time we are taking a new name, we have to know that according to your condition or to the circumstances you are making dua for Allah, choose the suitable name that you can call Allah by it, by this name. Number two, to know that after every hardship is ease, as promised in the Quran, inna ma'al usri yusra. With every hardship there is an ease, and the state of the believers that when he is in a state of ease and feeling at rest in his heart, and he's grateful all the time, he's grateful and patient. And this according to Prophet Muhammad hadith, that the state of the believer is always good. If he has something more provision for him or something good, he is grateful to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. If he has something seems to be bad or to him, he will be patient for that. But all it come to him is good. All come from Allah. Everything coming from Allah is good, whether it is withholding or whether it is extending or giving. Number three, that we have to the benefits from the names of Allah Al-Qabid.Albasit is loving Allah. Loving Allah, who shows mercy to us, provides sustenance and gives abundantly, and who is the only one who can give, and the only one who withholds. And this is to know how Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is knowing us, because he knows us since we were embryo in the womb of our mothers. That's what Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is telling in the Quran. That he knows us, he knows the nature of the human being, he knows the nature of the mankind, and he knows what will make us good and who will make us bad. Sometimes you will say a poor man, the poor man is, maybe he is a poor because Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, he wants to be in a better condition, but to search for work, to be more active. Maybe if he has money, or he got to be rich, maybe he will go to the to drink wine, or to just spend his money in bad ways away from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Sometimes you feel that. Sometimes you feel that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is what being decreed by him is the best thing. Even if sometimes you feel, but it's not the truth. You feel that you have defects in some issues. You are not having something you wish to have. This has been withheld by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala because of your own sake, because he loves you. And he know that if you have this issue, maybe some harms will come to you, or maybe you will have fitna, or a trial in your deen or in your religion. That's why he keep you away from the trial, or he may protect you from that hard test you may have. Also, another point, relying on Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and entrusting our affairs to him alone. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, he is the only one who can give, and he is the only one who can take. So nobody else over this earth can do that. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is the only one. If you have any difficulties, any hardship you are passing through, and you are waiting for someone to give or to extend whatever the extension you want or the giving you want, just go to Allah. Please go to Allah and ask everything you want. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, he will bring you one of his slaves just to give you whatever you want. But you have to go with sincerely to Allah, with ikhlas, with devotion, and to only put Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in your heart, and to make the love of Allah only the love of Allah in your heart. And also showing the pleasure and the contentment with whatever Allah provides you. Everything coming from Allah is good, and whatever he takes away, which he does in his infinite wisdom and absolute knowledge, it's according to his wisdom. I have to trust in Allah's wisdom. This is very important, that I'm telling myself before telling you, that we have to trust in Allah's wisdom, even if we are seeing something that it's not good in our mind or in our way of thinking. But actually, it's according to Allah's wisdom that the best thing is happening. Another point of benefits, taking care not to use what Allah has given us to do things that may bring his wrath on us. Rather, we should show gratitude to him. I will search for what Allah gave me and start to show gratitude to Allah about this. You have knowledge, share your knowledge. You have money, share your money with charity. You have your efforts, you can help others. Whatever the advantages that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala gave you, you have to share it with others, and to be, as we are going to say in the following point, source of expansion. Source of expansion to others. We need to be of those who offer relief to the other people, since we are seeking the expansion of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and relief to being relieved by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Be a source of relieving to others. Be a cause of making others to smile. Make a favor for people. That's to make them feel happy. That's Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala surely will reward you by making you happy, by making everything in your life goes straightforward according to his way, inshallah. Another thing, take care. We are speaking about both meaning at the same time. We are talking about the expansion and how to relieve, and now we are coming back to constriction, and the constriction that brings us back to Allah. And of course, that's what happened now. The striking example is the coronavirus in internationally circumstances now, that most of the people, the Muslim people, are coming back to Allah, are trying to search of what they were defect in and try to fix everything, because they feel that they've been threatened and they can lose their life anytime. So this is one of the things that usually the hardship time and constriction and withholding our relief to go for picnic, withholding our traveling that used to be every year. This year traveling will be very restricted, even if they open. I think it's not it will not be easy for everyone to go back to traveling, and many other things that used to do last year will be restricted this year. So why that? It's of course because Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, in his withholding, he will be good for us. Just search what good, what benefits you had from the past 3 months, and just search in your agenda and your timetable, and you can find how the prioritization is different now. What was your priority 3 months back was not now. Definitely, I'm sure that every one of you is just coming back to her the management table or timetable management table. She will find the priority definitely change it. And of course, again, if we say this is withholding from Allah, it is for good of all of us. And the last point is to be pleased with Allah decree. As you are believing in the all-knowing, the all-wise, again, it is the all-knowing, the all-wise, Al-Alim, Al-Hakim, that we took those two names before, and we said that Al-Alim is to know the knowledge, the all knowledge, and Al-Hakim is to act by this knowledge. Now we come to it's a new entry. I just put it from today, inshallah, in our episodes, that after every name of beautiful name of Allah, we can take related story either from the Sunnah or from the Quran, which related to this name. Remember, we said the name of Allah, Alqabid.Albasit, it didn't come clearly in Quran, but it came the words Yaqbidu wa Yabsutu. And there is a very striking actual example and story came in Surah Al-Qalam from the ayat 17 to 27. I wish that you read this surah with especially those ayat and ayahs about a story of the garden companions. This is about youth, maybe they are brothers, 3 or 4 brothers. They had a very good father that used to do charity and to give the poor and the needy. And this guy died, and he left these 3 brothers. He left for them the garden, a very wide, big garden, full of fruits, full of many good things. And they used to have every year the harvest that they took portion of the crops coming up to the needy and to the poor. When this man died, the good man died, his sons, they have like an agreement that they will not give the poor or the needy anymore. So what happened that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala make their garden is like to be reaped, or to be like in a mess. Everything is upside down. And at that time they realized actually that it was a favor and the bounty from Allah. It was not from their efforts or from their effort they are doing. Here we're going to have reading in quickly the ayat or the ayahs about this story. Indeed, we have tried them. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is telling about those people or those brothers. We tried them, tested them, as we tried the companion of the gardens when they swore to cut. Here we have tried them means Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will try every person, like what he tried those companion of the garden. What happened to those companion of the garden when they swore to cut its fruit in the early morning without making exception? So there came upon the garden an affliction from your Lord while they were asleep, and it became as though reaped. And they called one another at the morning, saying, go early to your crop, if you would cut the fruit. And so they set out while lowering their voices, saying, there will be sure not enter today upon any poor person. And they went early in determination, and assuming themselves able to go and to take the fruits very quickly away from the needy before they came. But what happened? When they saw it, which is already lost indeed. They said, we are lost. When they saw all the garden and all the fruits being reaped and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala burned all the garden, they said, we are lost. Rather, we have been deprived. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is giving this example for anyone who is having the sensation of selfishness or not giving the charity, the obligatory charity or zakah or even the sadaqah, that if he has bounties or have the favor from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, it's from Allah, it's not from his own efforts. Now we finished the name of Allah, Alqabid.Albasit, and I hope it was easy to understand about it. And now we're going to the other two names related also to each other, Almukkadim.Almuakhir. Almukkadim.Almuakhir, the advancer, the delayer. The advancer and the delayer. Okay, now what about the meaning? The advancer and the delayer. He places things where they should exactly belong. He advances and postpones whatever he pleases in his infinite wisdom. Again, we said before, Alqabid.Albasit, the withholder, the extender, according to his infinite wisdom and absolute justice. Here we are talking about advancing or preceding and postponing. He decreed everything before he created the creation. He promotes whomever he wills to the higher positions and delay and holds back whomever he wills in his absolute wisdom and justice. Sometimes you will find people taking the authority or to be the president of such country or to be a king of the kings, or sorry, to be king of a kingdom, or just to be a manager of organization or whatever, and from yourself you feel that he is not suitable for that position or not being experienced, but Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, according to his will, that this person will come at this position even if he's not good. Maybe it is a trial for him, a trial, because if the president who is taking care of the state, of the country, he's not having a justice between the people, of course it will be a catastrophe on him, it will be a no advantage. So from the meaning of Al-Mukkadim.Almuakhir, that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is teaching us, you cannot judge people by their positions. Don't say, oh, it's well respected because of so and so and so. No, he's respected because he has a good behavior, he has a good attributes, he is following our Quran and our Sunnah, and he's a good Muslim. This is the higher position in our scale, and it should be in our scale, and it's in Allah's scale, because we're going to have later that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is not looking for your faces and not looking for your positions, but looking for your heart. If your heart is devoted for Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, so you will be in a very higher position. Also from the points we can know that no one can advance whatever he delays, nor delay whatever he advances. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is the only one who is taking the decision what to be brought and what to be delayed. And if we want to know the names of Allah from the Sunnah, the hadith sahih by Prophet Muhammad alayhi salatu wassalam, اللهم اغفر لي ما قدمت وما أخرت وما أسررت وما أعلنت وما أنت أعلم به مني أنت المقدم وأنت المؤخر لا إله إلا أنت. Oh Allah, forgive my past and future sins, and whatever I have done in secret and whatever I have done in public, and what you are more knowledgeable of than I. You are the one who brings forward and who delays. There is no deity worthy of worship but you. So here, like it is a dua by Prophet Muhammad alayhi salatu wasalam, that he asked Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala for his forgiveness, and he forgive of what he said even or what concealed, as Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala also know everything, and he is the one who brings forward and the one who delay. When we come to the benefits of the names of Allah, Al-Muqaddim, Al-Muakhir, Here, number one, we said before, call Allah by His names, because Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, as we are mentioning His name Al-Muqaddim, to Allah, we ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to bring forward for us what's good for us, and to delay or to get away, to delay any other bad things that may cannot help us in our deen. So this is by the calling or supplication. Number two, trust in Allah timing. When we are speaking about Al-Muqaddim.Almuakhir, or the advancer and the delayer, here it comes to us usually the issue of time. When we are speaking about the time, usually Alqabid.Albasit, when we said withholder expander, it's not related to time. We said mainly to the soul taken, or the provision or the mercy or forgiveness of Allah. But when we are talking now about the delayer and the advancer, it's usually is giving us a limit, thinking of about the time, that we don't know what is in the unseen world, and thus we don't know the things that will be delayed and the things that will be hastened. The key is to trust in Allah timing. The overall is to trust to Allah timing and make the best of whatever you put. However, knowing these names of Allah shouldn't cause us to be lazy. Sometimes delay may simply occur because we are not working hard. So we have to strike a balance between the action and the trust in Allah. And this is very important, actually, that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, as being mentioned by Prophet Muhammad alayhi salatu wasalam, that we have to make tawakkul on Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, or to depend on Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, but not tawakkul. Tawakkul is to be lazy, not to doing anything and say, oh, Allah will bring. Allah is know everything. Allah will bring me the provision at the time He wants. Allah, He knows me in my heart. I need not to work. I need not to make efforts because Allah is knowing everything. No, this is the tawakkul, or the laziness. But in our religion, it is a tawakkul. What is a tawakkul is to do your best and to take the reasons and the causes that help your success. And then after that, you leave everything for Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. As we mentioned many examples about that maybe we study hard, work hard, and after going to the after I had the interview about certain university, I will not accept it. I've been refused or been rejected by this university, although I made all my efforts for that. That's to mean that there is a wisdom of Allah. This is khalas, this is Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Maybe I have better chance in another university. But to go to the interview, whatever university or organization or whatever, and you don't know anything, and just come, good morning, I'm so and so. Okay, I'm waiting for Allah. If Allah wants, I will be with you. If not, I will not. No, it doesn't go like that. So the key here is to trust in Allah timing and make the best of wherever you are put. Number two, also to remember that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has given all of us good, and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala brings forward those who do good. This is another meaning of the bringing forward or the advancer. If someone seems to be promoted because of their wealth, or another because of his intelligence, remember that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has given each of us something. We should be grateful and appreciate his gifts. And we should remember that truly the one promoted with respect to God Most High is the one brought close to him, Al-Muqarrab or Muqarrabin. And this is a great mentioned by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in Surah Al-Waqi'ah, when he mentioning the grades of the people, that Al-Muqarrabin, they are the highest class. The highest class just will be near to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, Al-Muqarrabin. They are the very near to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And then Ashabul Yamin, the people will of the right side, or they have the book from the right side, or they will enter the paradise. And then Wal'ayazu Billah, Ashabul Shimal, which is a companion of the hellfire. So if Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is going to advance people, yes, he's going to make others precede others according to their good deeds in the dunya or in the life. Prophet Muhammad said in the Hadith Sahih, whoever is slowed by his deeds will not be hastened forward by his lineage, which means that you are not depending on your father and mother is a good people and they are worshipping Allah, so they will make intercession for me at the day of judgment. Yes, there will be intercession, of course, mentioned by Prophet Muhammad, and by him also you make intercession to the Muslims, but you have to make the good deeds. You have to make a good deed that you can have something to meet Allah with. You cannot meet Allah with your wishes. And this is mentioned by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in Surah An-Nisa, لَيْسَ بِأَمَانِيِّكُمْ وَلَا أَمَانِي أَهْلِ الْكِتَابِ من يعمل من الصالحات من ذكر أو أنثى وهو مؤمن فأولئك يدخلون الجنة ولا يظلمون نقيرا. Means that it's not by your wishes. It's not just you are not doing anything, you are not doing your prayers, you are not doing your zakat or fasting, and you are wishing to go to paradise. It's by your work, by your deeds. من يعمل من ذكر أو أنثى, both male and females, وهو مؤمن, and believing. And this is, we said before, you have to do the work and the belief. In order any deed to be accepted by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, it should have the belief that it is done for Allah, devotion, and number two, these deeds to be done according to the sunnah, to the authentic sunnah and what came by Prophet Muhammad, not in bid'ah or innovation. So by the work, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will accept your deed. It's not by your family tree. It's not by that your mother is a good, or your father was a sheikh, or your grandmother was or grandfather was imam. No, it's not like this. It's not what you are doing. This is very important to be done. Then we'll come after that from the benefits. We'll go to bring forward the good and delay the bad ones of the fruits of knowing Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. This is from you as we said that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is the one who brings the good and delay the bad. So from your side as a slave to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, you have to bring forward the good things for Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and to delay the bad things that you can do. Bring forward your good deeds, meaning hasten to them, and then we should at the very least put off something bad, with the aim to forego doing it entirely. That means that we should have the good deeds to be forward. We try to, as much as we can, to do the good deeds for Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And if we have bad deeds, try to decrease it. Try to lessen it. This is the issue that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala wants us to be advancing. This is from the impact of the two names, Almukkadim.Almuakhir, the advancer and the delayer. That we advance our good deeds to others and we delay our bad deeds by making it less and try to work on ourselves. And everyone is knowing himself. Every one of us knowing what is the weak points he has, whether it is thinking much of himself or backbiting or whatever. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala forgive us all, but work on yourself on that, just to decrease to delay the bad deeds. So to sum up here, Al-Muqaddim.Almuakhir, we said that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala wisdom, he has everything in the proper timing, and no one can hasten his fate or delay his fate, and we have to believe in that and to know everything is coming at the proper time from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is good for us. And the second thing that we mentioned, that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is having a wisdom in making people more than other people in wealth or in intelligence. So I have to know what's my good and strong point and to work on that point. And then after working and making my great effort, I depend on Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And we said the last point that we have to bring in the front or forwards our good deeds and decrease or delay our bad deeds. The last thing we're going to have today is a related story of the two names of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, Al-Muqaddim.Almuakhir, or the advancer and delayer. It's about the Prophet Yusuf, Prophet Joseph, or Prophet Yusuf alayhi salam. Of course, all of you know Prophet Yusuf. Prophet Yusuf, he has a whole story, a whole surah in Quran by his name. And it's very interesting story, by the way. I advise all my sisters and all my daughters to go through the Quran, to read the story of Prophet Yusuf. It's really, really very interesting, and you will have many lessons will be learned from such a story. Now we'll just take one scene from this story when Prophet Yusuf alayhi salam was in jail. He was in Egypt and he been jailed, and he was considered at that time as the best person. He was a prophet, and his father is prophet, and his grandfather is a prophet. The whole lineage till Prophet Ibrahim is prophets, since Ibrahim, Ishaq, Yaqub, and Yusuf. All the four are prophets. And although that he's been jailed because of an issue happened, and with him in this jail there was two persons, and he was very famous by telling about the dreams. If you have a dream and you need to know what's the explanation of this or tafsir this dream, he was expert in doing such things. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, he taught him how to explain the dreams. And they said to him, just explain our dreams. They both of them dreamed two dreams, and he explained. They told him, indeed, we see you to be those who do good. Yet, even though he was better than them, he remained in jail for longer time. Actually, one of those, there was two persons, one person being executed and the other being set free. The first cellmate was released and went to become a servant for the king. He was the king at that time, who is the king of Egypt. He is supposed to be the servant for this king. And the second one was executed. And although that Prophet Yusuf was, if you're going to say how much he was a prophet and he was believing in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, but stayed in the jail for several years. Well, finally, many years back, he was released. And when he was released from the jail, he became the minister, minister of Egypt, and he is minister of the finance. Is going to say it by today's positions. He took the position of the Ministry of Finance. He was the minister of finance. And moreover, he was reunited again with his family when his father and mother and his brothers, at the end of the story, all of them met together and they came to Egypt. What we will say about that, we'll say when he was in jail and he sat many years in this jail, no one could think that after that he will be the minister of the finance in Egypt. So this was in the unseen. This is what Allah decreed, and this is what Allah decreed for all of us. Of course, the prophets has a very striking example for all of us, and they are supposed to be like our milestones that we should follow their steps. But at the same time, we know how Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala wisdom and how Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala all-knowing. And if there is something delayed, there is a reason for the delaying. And if something came to you, even if you think that you are not suitable, it's not suitable for you to go through, no, it is suitable. Allah brought it for you, so it is suitable now, it is a proper time for you. This is the whole message we're going to have from these majestic two names, Al-Muqaddim, Al-Muakhir. Whatever Allah brings to you at the proper time is you are eligible to do it. Whatever Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will delay, so you are not eligible at that time. And this is the wisdom of Allah. And you have to accept of what Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala been decreed on you. And أقول قولي هذا وأستغفر الله لي ولكم. سبحان الله بحمده سبحان الله العظيم سبحانك اللهم أستغفرك وأتوب إليك لا إله إلا أنت. Here we come to the end of our